everybody. I called in a favor for all of you. I heard some really good news from the SBA, and I immediately picked up the phone and dialed up Aaron Slattery, who is working his tail off right now. So I have to say thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I owe you a big favor. SBA came out with some very exciting news about loan payments for new businesses. And in this particular case, this is going to be loans for my bigger ticket businesses. So I have candidates out there where you guys are wanting to stay home based and under 150,000. And then I have kind of another bucket of people that are looking at larger tickets. They're looking at bigger business models. It's going to require some inventory, some vehicles, some equipment. And sometimes it's just bigger territory and or brick and mortar for that matter. And so those loans are looking 200 plus. And I called Aaron to say, okay, I know about the SBA Express and that one's super cool. What about my people that are looking for a little bit more money? And he took the time to fill us in. So I'm gonna turn it over to Aaron Slattery from First Financial with another big thank you. Talk to us, what's going on?
Well, thanks, Lisa. Thanks for having me. No problem, I'll always make time for you.
Thank you.
You know, the SBA made a gigantic announcement and we're still deciphering a small few parts on the bigger ticket loans for the SBA, but okay. As far as we know, it is still, same applies as it was for the Express loan. 6 months of waived payments by the SBA for your loan. So if you take out a $500,000 loan and your monthly payment is $4,500, the first 6 months are paid by the SBA, not deferred. It doesn't, not interest bearing. It doesn't show up as 6 payments at the end of your loan. That's something I've never seen before. The only thing we don't have clarification yet is the fact if it's an acquisition. We can't decipher whether or not it's new business. We know it's new business. We don't know if it's also an acquisition. We're hoping it is.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. But then, so I just kind of want to drive that home for you guys. The hardest part of business, one of your biggest expenses and kind of the scariest part is when you're getting this business up and running and that first 6 months when you've got a loan payment and, you know, in this case, if this is a bigger loan, you might have a rent payment, all this kind of stuff, and you don't have a lot of cash coming in. And Aaron, you're saying, no, the SBA principal and interest, 6 months, we're paying it, you go, build.
Paid for by SBA. Correct.
Wow. Crazy, crazy. So tell us, okay, I'm gonna be busy, you're gonna be busy. Talk to me about the qualifications around that loan. You know, a lot of times businesses like this, and I know right now restaurants are in kind of, you know, we're not showing a lot of restaurants, but is it industry specific? Should I be careful about that? But also, if you get a chance, go into what they're looking for in the person applying for this loan.
For the candidate, absolutely. You know, as far as the business itself, when you get into the bigger ticket loans, it comes into a little play, but not as much on the bigger ticket loans.
Okay.
Restaurants are still safe. There's plenty of banks that still want to fund restaurants.
Oh, good. That's good news.
There are, absolutely. Do they like to see a little more history with a restaurant than they would in something that's service-based? Yes, they'd like to see a good 20 going, you know, things like that, you know, emerging brand, things like that. But no, restaurants are still on the table, absolutely. They're a vital part of the economy, so, you know, banks still are out there. As far as qualifications for the client, they are a little higher than the Express. They like to see somewhere about a 720 and above credit score.
Okay.
Okay. Credit card usage about the same as the Express. They want to see less than 40% credit card usage.
Okay.
You know, personally, the cash injection, that does vary a little bit based on net worth and collateralization, credit score, but it's usually between 10 and 12%.
Wow, that's pretty good, isn't it?
It is pretty good. It's still not that bad at all. You know, so usually the franchise fee almost covers that. and then the bank takes over from that point on, the construction, the buying of it, everything. Because if it's a $500,000 loan, they want to see you put 50,000 into your business. You've paid the $50,000 franchise fee. You satisfied it. The bank takes over everything from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bigger ticket loans, they do, it is a process. That is the thing is you have to find the space, you have to look over the lease and everything. So it's a little more complicated than the express, but we do it every day, so we're used to it.
Okay. So for the whole 6 months paid, if we want to capitalize on that, what's the timeline? I mean, we've all heard there's different buckets within the SBA and all of this, incentive packages and this type of thing. And you said it takes a little bit longer on some of these big ticket loans. So fill me in. What can I do to help?
That's what's going to be a little tricky is because if someone decides now that they want a restaurant, okay, now they have to go lease a spot. They have to find a location. That may take 2 months.
Okay.
So now we're into June. Then they have construction because it's from the funding date.
Okay.
These people have to be funded before September 27th.
Okay.
Not approved for, the business has to be open.
Okay. Got it.
That date. So we are in a little bit of a crunch for businesses that are, that have a storefront or have build out.
Okay. So I have some big ticket franchise businesses that they're not restaurants, right? But they do acquire a lot of equipment, but I would guess that they're going to ramp up faster because we're not in this real estate crunch, right? So those businesses where they're going to turn out, they're bigger businesses, you're going to have more employees, you're going to have just more everything. That's why they cost more. But so those might be safer. I'm just being totally selfish right now. So for the people that I'm working with, maybe not be careful if it's brick and mortar, if I want them to try to take advantage of this.
Yes, just be aware of the length of time it can take if you want to do a brick and mortar business.
Okay.
It depends on the business. If it's something fitness related, you can find a space very quickly for a space, to do fitness. A restaurant, it takes its location.
Okay.
So
and you know that.
Yes. So again, the different kind of franchise can depend on how quick you find your location also.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. I definitely owe you, and I appreciate you taking your time.
Always.